Stick kettle on, mate. What? Can't hear you. Say it again. Aye, I'll probably go out for a wee fag, mate. Right, no problem. That's me live, bro. 2 seconds, guys. No, it's the wrong one. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Okay. I haven't had my dinner, guys. I haven't had my dinner. I have not had my dinner. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if the sound's okay. This is the first time I've used the mics with on a live, and I have had problems with the mics on the live, guys, as you know. So let me just get on to my channel. Get the volume down. Okay, here we go, we're live. Right, volume. Okay, happy days. Happy fucking days. Okay. Right, I'm having my dinner while I talk to these guys. I have been non-stop, like. I've been non-stop. Right, where's my chat? Where's my chat? Oh, please tell me I've got chat in this. There we go, live chat. Live chat. Can you hear me okay, guys? Caitlin? Give us a thumbs up, guys, if you can hear me. Londonderry, how you doing, mate? In loud and clear. I can see yous coming up. No problemo. Oh, man. Haggis. You need to bear with me, guys. I eat my dinner. It's been a busy wee day. So it has. It's been a busy wee day for Freedom Dad. So can you hear me okay? Loud and clear from County Wicklow? That's all the comments are, mate. Kenny McDermott, how you doing? Hi, Freedom Dad in chat. Haggis supper. Yes, haggis supper. Perfect. Perfect, mate. Up EBFD. Hello, Joan Cook. How you doing? This is my first... My mate's normally watching me live. So he is. So this is the first time he's seen how it works. It is, John. Oh, no. No deep fried Mars bars, guys. Steve Belfast. Oh, you and Stevie going head to head in the ring. I wouldn't like to think so. What chippy was it, Roddy? What chippy did we get this from? What was the chippy called that we got this from?
The Boulevard.
The Belvoir?
Boulevard.
The Boulevard.
Boulevard. Bill Evard.
Bull Evard. In the south side.
I think it's happy.
That's alright. It's alright. When you're not used to haggis, guys, you know, it's good. It's good. I've missed my haggis, to be honest with you, like. Remember?
Yeah.
You want to make me a cup of tea, bro?
Oh, I'll
Let's have a look, Freedom Dad. Okay. Okay, guys. Haggis supper. And that's a haggis. It's a wild animal from Scotland. Very hard to catch. You only get them in the Highlands. That's mine now. Yeah, yeah. Stevie, I don't know, mate. It's a chippy, innit? The top cat. Evening 404, how you doing? Ragnar, good to see you, mate. Yeah, 100%, mate. I'll tell you the story. Let me get this fucking microphone on. I'll get this microphone on here so I can hands free it. Kirsty, how you doing? Good to see you. Everything gets battered in Scotland, guys. I'm really, really hungry, so let everybody get in. 105 in, 108, hit the like button, guys. Thank you. I have to say thank you to my friends who've looked after me since I came over. There's nothing close to haggis in Northern Ireland, guys. I can't say to you like, oh, it's like this or like that, you know. It's an acquired taste, you know what I mean? So I'll tell you the story. So the thought of eating haggis, when I first came over here, when I was arrested in Northern Ireland and hijacked by the police and brought to Scotland for the bank robberies, the thought of eating haggis was like, whoa, you know what I mean? And yeah, peppery taste. Yeah, it's a peppery taste. It's like a wee bit spicy, but not too spicy because you know I'm not into spicy food. It's like oatmeal and bits of meat and maybe a wee bit gritty for some people. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's really, really delicious. So when I get brought over here many years ago for the bank robberies, I ended up in Barlinnie, you know, and you know the food came round and it was haggis, you know, and I was like, I was so hungry. Like you're only going to eat haggis for the first time. Eat haggis. You're only going to eat it when you're hungry. You know what I mean? So for the first time, I was really, really hungry, and it was haggis on the menu. And the Scrooge came round, threw the dinner into the cell, and I ate it. And I was like, wow, that's actually all right, you know. And that was maybe a cheap, nasty haggis in the jail, you know what I mean? It is delicious. And it's really filling, you know, it is really filling. Like, I got married Ursula, I got married in Boreal. I got married in Shots, Ursula, so, you know. Audrey, how you doing? Peter Murdoch, Tails, Neeps, Taddy's Neepson. Yeah, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Listen to me already. I've only been here a week and I'm talking Scottish. John McCook, where are you going next? It's a secret. That's a secret, guys. James Bro, we're going to get into all that in a wee minute. Let me just get my dinner. Let me get a wee cup of tea. Londonderry. I'm going to talk a wee bit more about the carry on with Stevie and that. And I don't want anybody thinking I'm a hater or I'm into hating people. I'm not. But you need to know why we are where we are. You need to understand a few things, you know what I mean? And I think Stevie should be man enough to, after all this, say, you know what, Freedom Dad, you're right. That's where I think we should be. Yes, Warren Smith. Yes, of course. I'll be back in Bangor. Of course, you know. Hi, hello, BG. How you doing? Yeah, your accent is nice, Freedom Dad, due to your time spent in Scotland. I think also my time spent in England as well, as a young boy, has messed about with my accent. We are where we are because prods love a good food. Yeah, I've got no hate, guy. Like, I want to make this clear. I've got no hate for Stevie. I don't hate the guy. You know, I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? I was a wee bit angry earlier on. Yeah, please, mate. Tea. Yeah, it's departing, BG. I wouldn't say it's gone, like, but it's departing. It is absolutely brutal. And it seems to be just in Ireland. It seems to be just in Ireland. Jambo, just chill, 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 chill. Even feeling Dad, nice to see you. To see you nice. Oh, don't, Mary. Or should check out all the chat. Lady J, good to see you, Lady J. I'm really surprised, shocked at recent events concerning Patriots. Yes, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I don't think any Patriots are shocked or surprised. But anybody outside the circle might be shocked or surprised. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. A bit of Bruce there. So, yeah, we're just in the door. Been on the go all day. Excuse me. As you know, I'm with one of my best friends. Thank you so much, mate. Cheers. Who is like a brother, you know what I mean? A brother from another mother. You know, simple as that. It is a brother from another mother, bros. Guys. I was just sick, nothing surprises me. Yeah, nothing surprises me anymore, like. Stevie Oliver, how you doing? So obviously we've got some haters in. How many have we got in? 100 130, 134. I'm not shocked at all. Too many chiefs and none of Indians has ever from the prods. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't just say it's down the prods, you know what I mean? It's like in every walk of life, that's the way it is, you know what I mean? And Jumbo said in a video, that everyone around Freedom Dad is being arrested. He didn't say everybody around Freedom Dad was being arrested. He said everybody around him was being arrested, apart from, you know, me. You know what I mean? Like, we were having a laugh that day about it, you know what I mean? I was like, we were having a laugh with my mates and all that over here, and we were like, you know, fucking just walk into the police station and hand yourself in, for fuck's sake, just arrest me. You know, just arrest me, you know what I mean? Keep everybody happy. Arrested, you know what I mean? And no sound. It'll come back. It should come back. Give me a sound away. It's back. Yes, it always comes back. The sound, whenever somebody phones me, it'll come back. I'm gonna put my do not disturb on, guys. So if I can get this done here without knocking you all off. Give me 2 seconds. I can't. I should have put it on before I started. Sound's gone. Is the sound? Give me a thumbs up if the sound's back, guys. Back again. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay. Thank you, guys. So yeah, Freedom Dad hasn't been arrested. Yes, I understand. I understand there's a lot of people out there would love to see Freedom Dad get arrested. You know, but Freedom Dad has been around for a very long time. He's been in many jails in many countries and done many sentences, and he knows the law. You know, and one of the reasons why I do this is because I know the score. You know what I mean? I know how to do things right. I know how to not cross the line, but go up to the line. I know how to warn my country about what's coming, and I know how to protect me and the people around me, which is very important. It's not just about protecting me. It's about protecting everybody around me. And if some people don't want to listen to me, that's down to them. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into it. Thanks, mate. We're gonna get into it. Freedom Dad is realist. There is no, and one of the main reasons I tune in. Fuck the haters. Fuck them Kirby haters. I enjoy the haters, you know what I mean? I enjoy the haters. I really do. You know, I enjoy the haters because they waste their time. That's the big thing about me, you know what I mean? There's people out there and we are going to be coming at the haters, you know what I mean? Big time, you know what I mean? There's certain people out there, a couple of girls that we're keeping an eye on, and we're going to come at them in such a way that they're going to be destroyed. But you know, I don't want to nitpick at little silly things. I want to just let them keep coming with all their wee silly videos and do all the wee, and then we just record everything, and then once we've got everything together, then we will do a big expose on them and show you exactly who they are, because they're not who they say they are. They really aren't. And the haters are going to hate, yeah. Not seen and not making it easy for the cops. The ones that are getting scooped are because they are not schooled. Exactly, you know what I mean? One of the problems with Stevie is I think he wants to be arrested, you know what I mean? Uh, Whereas I know if I get arrested, I'm in trouble, you know what I mean? I know they're not going to miss me, you know what I mean? I know that they're sitting there gathering evidence and they're waiting for me to make a mistake and they're waiting to put me away for a long time, you know what I mean? I've never ever, I mean, I was 16 years old and got 3 years. 16 years old and I got 3 years for crimes, for an armed robbery that anybody else would have got probably probation. 16 years old, you know what I mean? And then 18 years old, I got 6 years. 6 years when I was 18, I got 6 years, you know what I mean? And then, as you know, I got 18 years, you know what I mean? I've never been missed. They've always came down hard on me. And it's because of who I am, because I'm always no comment, because I've never spoke to them, because I've never integrated, because all the times that they've tried to get me to work for them, I've always refused. And they hate that. They hate the fact that they've got a guy that's loyal. And when you're loyal, guys, they come down hard on you. They really do. You know, you're not getting bail. I've never had bail in my life. Never given bail. Never given a second chance. And it's there to be proven. You know, I'm not talking rubbish. It's there. I can't say stuff like that. You know what I mean? Unless it's factual, you know, because they would love me to tell you lies, and then they come out and go, "Oh, you got bail here and you got bail there," you know what I mean? So I've never been given an inch, and I've never given an inch, you know what I mean? And that's the most important thing about me, and that's why I'm so staunch and loyal, you know what I mean, to my friends, and that's why I've got so many friends all over the mainland and Northern Ireland from many years, you know, because they see the loyalty that comes from me. It's been tried and tested many times. Like some of these guys that are coming up and trying to do what I'm doing, they've never been tried and tested, and it worries me. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So Stevie Baker is a so-called patriot from Northern Ireland, guys, who has been doing like the COVID stuff for a very long time, and I don't get any enjoyment out of this, as you can probably see. You know what I mean? I really don't get any enjoyment out of this. It does actually break my heart that I'm in this situation right now, but I've got to draw a line in the sand and say enough's enough. I have taken quite a lot of flack from a lot of people, but when you've got somebody, I've always said this, I'm never going to call you out if you're just a normal person. If you're irrelevant, and it doesn't matter to me, you know what I mean? I don't care what you say about me, but if you've got an online presence and you're going about saying stuff about me, then I have to react. I've got no choice, you know what I mean? So what's basically happened, I'm going to tell you what happened to Stevie. So Stevie broke his bail conditions by going to the city centre at the time of the Palestinian flag being raised, before it was raised. As you know, I was there live round the front when it got raised, But Stevie had bail conditions where he had a curfew and he was out over the curfew, and that's why Stevie Baker got arrested. Now, whenever the Pink Ladies had their demonstration in the city centre, I was handed a bag by Robin, his partner, who I believed at that time was in charge of the Pink Ladies. And she handed me the bag, and I opened the bag up, and as I told her I was going to do, and showed everybody what was in the bag live on YouTube. Now, I was under the impression that the bag had been checked by the police because I heard that they had to change the spray from deep heat to some other spray. Um, and I wasn't the only YouTuber. I'm not going to mention any more names, but there was another YouTuber, very well-known citizen journalist from Northern Ireland, who was also going to do the exact same thing that I done, and I stopped her by saying, "I've already done it." So Stevie Baker got arrested for breaking his bail conditions, and because yeah, I'm done, mate. Thanks. Because obviously they had that as well. So that was that me, Lindsay Brown. Yes, it was you. It was you. So yeah, we Lindsay was there. You know, it could have been me or you, Lindsay. It doesn't. You know, it could have been anybody. But you know, we were oblivious. We're citizen journalists. We're expecting whatever's in that bag to be. You know, I didn't know what was in the bag. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. So I'm gonna go on. Tell you what happened. So. Next thing I know, he's in hiding and he's in a friend's house. Now, none of us know exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? It's not like we're hiding anybody or we know exactly what's going on. But, you know, the guy's a mess. He's an absolute mess. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking to myself, geez, oh, you know, I'm worrying because, like, this guy isn't in control. He's afraid of being arrested. You know, he's stressed out. Whether it's because of the kids and his wife, God only knows, you know. But you don't do this kind of game if you're scared to be arrested, you know. Simple as that. You should not have no fear at all. And I'm not just saying this. There's many men. There was other men there who's seen what I seen. You know what I mean? So that's that bit. And then he gets arrested. So when he gets arrested, say on the Tuesday, he gets remanded on the Wednesday. By the Thursday, we had a bail. We had a bail application in for him. We had it already, like the lawyers and all going. You know, Pinky had 100 quid, threw 100 quid into his tuck shop. Pinky's like, Mark, I don't have 100 quid. He says, he says, I don't have this, you know what I mean? But, so I give Pinky 50 quid to put in, to give Stevie, you know what I mean, to help him out. And, so anyway, you know, Pinky's brother, like, I think, you just don't know the work that the guys put in to get Stevie out. You just don't know the work that we done to get this guy out of jail, to get him back to his family and friends. And so, long story short, he gets him out using our lawyers and Philip and the EBFD and the legal team that we use. We got him out, you know, and he hasn't even said thank you. He hasn't even turned around to Pinky or Philip or anybody who worked so hard when he was in prison to get him out. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And like that's just that bit. But then on top of all that, he's then saying what he's saying, that I got him arrested. It's all my fault. And then he's putting videos out saying that everybody around him is getting arrested, bar, you know. And we all know he's talking about me. I didn't know because I'm in Scotland. I'm seeing my mates, you know, I'm seeing my daughter. You know, I've got lots going on at the minute, you know what I mean? Dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff, you know, stuff that I will never talk about online. And, you know, and I'm getting my friends, my what I call family, Sarah and Caitlin, and all my best mates over there messaging me going, have you seen Stevie's video? And I've went and had a look at it a second time, and then I've realised that he's having a dig at me. You know, he's having a dig because Freedom Dad hasn't been arrested, you know what I mean? So that's where we're at. That's the work that we've put in for Stevie. You know, that's what we've done to get him out of jail to his family. And that's the thanks that he's given me, the EBFD, Pinky, and Philip, Pinky's twin brother, who worked so hard. 27 phone calls to the prison in one day, you know, onto the phone to the lawyers non-stop. You just don't realise the work we put in to get that guy out, you know. And he hasn't even had the decency to turn round to any of the boys at all. Not a word, not a whisper, not even a knock on the door and say, thank you guys. Nothing. And that's why I got so angry. That's why I made the video that I made, guys, you know. And it's not about hating on people. I don't want to be hating on people. But, you know, at the end of the day, we are under so much pressure in Northern Ireland right now. We're under pressure from paramilitaries. We've got the Orange Men. We've got the Bandsmen. We've got people being paid off. We've got funding going here, there and everywhere to stop people coming out and supporting us, the Patriots, against something that's going to destroy the future of our children, the future of our country. It's going to take the murals down, the loyalist murals. It's going to stop the orange parades. It's going to stop the walks, the bonfires. It's going to stop the hunger strikers. It's going to stop the Easter uprising parades. It's going to stop everything that we know, both Protestants and Catholics, on both sides. It's going to destroy everything that we know, you know. And as I keep on saying, you know, my whole goal is to show people that this is what's coming. What we see in England with Rotherham, Rochdale, Luton, Leicester, London, these are English cities. They'll never be returned to being English. And I don't want that happening in Ballymena, Londonderry, Belfast, Glengormley, Newton Abbey, East Belfast, South Belfast, Shankill, South, you know, the village. You know, we're seeing it changing already. And this is the most important thing to me. There's nothing more important to me. And when I sit back and look at everything back here, looking back home, and see the behaviour of people like Stevie Baker towards me and everybody else, then I realise that he doesn't care about the future of Northern Ireland. He only cares about himself. He only cares about the whatever that thing that he runs about with, shouting through so everybody can hear it's him. You know, and that's where I'm at now. I'm starting to see the real Stevie Baker after everything that we've done to get him out of jail, you know. And there's men now that are disgusted with him, and they are disappointed in themselves because of the work that they put in to help him, where there's no thanks. Because Stevie thinks it's a Stevie Baker show. You know, he thinks that he's the one-man band. When there is no one-man band, it's not Freedom Dad. I've told you from the start, it's not about me. I can't do this without yous. I can't do this without the Freedom Dad. I can't do this without East Belfast First Division. I can't do this without the support from the boys in Scotland or the boys in England, Big Will, Donkey and all them and my mate that's standing right next to me. I can't do it without Sarah and Caitlin and my godson and everybody that surrounds me and helps me. I'm nothing without that support. And there's not a man that can walk in my footsteps that can say they can do this on their own. You know, and that's where we are today, you know what I mean? So I am disappointed that we're at this stage, but it needs to be called out. It's time to start calling people out. This is too serious. We've went too far. We're taking too much flack. I've had death threats from the IRA, death threats from the NLA, and I'm walking a very thin line in my own community right now. I've got hate coming from all sorts of directions. I had to throw my fists at a guy twice the size of me to defend my own honour and my own country. You know, that should never have happened. Never have happened. And that's because he, the guy I'm throwing the fists at, is working for the police. And I've made that clear from the start who he is. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows he's a rat. Everybody in my community, from south, north, west, and east, know who this guy is. And I've had to throw my hands because I've told you since I've come back, any man that comes up against Freedom Dad is working for the police. Any man who tries to bring me down is working for the police. There's no two ways about it because Freedom Dad isn't a bad person. Freedom Dad is somebody who's trying to fight for the future of Northern Ireland, whether you're Protestant or Catholic. You know, and there's not a man that's came before me to do this. There's not a man that's had the balls to go down to Southern Ireland and stand outside the post office and deliver a speech from the top of his head and come out of there alive. There's not a loyalist that's ever done that apart from Freedom Dad. And I don't ask for any favour. I don't ask for any money. I don't ask for anything. All I ask is for you to listen to what I'm saying and believe that I am being genuine and I'm not here for my own ego. I'm not here to be the Freedom Dad. It's all about Freedom Dad. It's not about Freedom Dad. Freedom Dad's nothing without you guys. Freedom Dad's nothing without the support I get from my community. And it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Throw some comments up, guys. CJ's in the house. Thank you, CJ, for popping in. We hear and trust you, Freedom Dad. Thank you, Kenny. Hi, Freedom Dad, long back from City Hall. I hope you've had a good time. On the good dog house. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you in. At least you used your fists and not an umbrella. Good one. Are you a Rangers fan? No, I'm not a Rangers fan. This is a big problem I've always had over here. Is like, because in Scotland, if you're a Protestant, you support Rangers. I support Linfield. My football team has been Linfield since I've been a wee boy, and I don't have the energy to support any other team, you know. I'm not going to support a football team just because of my religion. It's a bit nuts. Thank you, Lady J. Linfield all the way. South Belfast, man, born right next to Windsor Park. What other team would I support? You know what I mean? I don't get people to support Rangers that come from fucking all over the world. I don't get it. You know, if you're a Rangers man, you're a Glasgow man. If you're a Celtic man, you're a Glasgow man. That's the way it should be. You know, you're a Linfield man, you're a Belfast man. If you're a Cliftonville man, you're a Belfast man. You know, it's just bigotry. If anybody that supports any teams that aren't from their own area are bigots, that's what I think. You know what I mean? And I've always said that. Yeah, Stevie isn't getting a Christmas card from the Freedom Dad team. You're right. But remember, like guys, you know, I've kept quiet. I've done my own thing. I don't. I've tried my best. There has been other things going on with Stevie and other things that I've said nothing about, and I don't like doing this. But he has brought this on himself. You know what I mean? You know, it's not about me. It's not about Stevie. But whenever people are trying to bring me down, when I've got so much hate coming at me from so many different directions, and then I've got somebody who's got such a high voice and such a following jumping on that bandwagon and running about East Belfast and telling people I got him arrested because of his own mistakes. Instead of just saying, listen, I made a mistake, I went out after my curfew, I was on bail, I shouldn't have went out, and they threw that on top. That's not my problem. You know, you made the mistake, not me. You know what I mean? If I've got bail conditions, I'm sticking to them. CJ Audits, how you doing, mate? I have to catch up later. I've got no idea what's happening. Wee bit bunkers, I'll send you a PM. Raymond, I'm a Linfield fan. Good on you. Is there any way to join your team in any way, Freedom Dad? Been watching and for a while now and would love to get involved somehow. Thank you for the buy me a coffee link, guys. I must be the only Celtic fan in the comments. No, my heart goes out to Celtic fans right now after the loss last night to Dundee United. You know, 4 losses in a row. How long's that been, Roddy? 1930 or something like that since Celtic won 4 in a row, lost 4 in a row. So it's quite a monumentum time to be in Glasgow, guys. I'm going to show you. I would love to see Irish Republicans leave the European Union, so would I. But like I say, if Stevie wants to do a video and says he made a mistake, or maybe he was under pressure or something, you know what I mean, and apologise to Pinky and Philip and the EBFD of what he's done and how he hasn't returned or said thank you for what them guys done, you know. He hasn't even got a clue that I put 50 quid into him. No clue, because I don't fucking, it's not about that. I don't even like bringing it up now, you know what I mean? And that, you know, that money came from you guys. You know, that I don't have any money. I don't have any social benefits. You know what I mean? I can't get a job. I can't. I'm not a normal guy who can jump about Belfast. It's very dangerous. I'm Freedom Dad. People know who I am. So I've got to rely on you guys buying me a coffee and people giving me money when I'm out and about just to survive, so I can pay the people that feed me. You know what I mean? You know, like I say, I've got no outgoings. You know, people. I'm wearing clothes that my mates have given me. I haven't went to the shops and bought these clothes. I'm wearing a pair of jeans and a jumper that my friends have given me. You know, most of my clothes are hand-me-downs, and I'm quite proud of that. I'm quite proud to be able to sit here and say, this is who Freedom Dad is. I'm not extravagant. I don't waste money. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't take drugs. You know, I smoke. That's my downfall. I will throw my hands up to it. And I am going to address that in the new year. But, you know, never mind a video, he should be at their doors in person. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? These guys worked really hard to get this man out. And not even a thank you. Not even a thank you. He hasn't went near any of them to say thank you. And you just don't realise the work that these guys have done and to get this guy out, you know? And that's the kicker for me. It wasn't about him slabbering about me and jumping about telling people that I got him arrested and it's all my fault and everybody around him's getting arrested but me. You know what I mean? What kind of shit's that to say? You know what I mean? That's just trying to get me into more trouble. He knows that they're spraying on the walls, the Bangor Concerned Parents, who's run, the guy who I was fighting with, his wife runs that. And then we got East Belfast Concerned Parents, who's friends with his wife, running that fucking thing. And they're all hating on Freedom Dad. And then you got Lisa, who's part of the East Belfast Concerned Parents. These are people that aren't patriots. These are TikTokers who want to make money. They're not interested in the future of our country. They're not interested in saving anybody or anything else. They're just interested in being hateful. They're just the most hateful people that we've got in Northern Ireland. So they are. And that's it. This is the group we have, you know what I mean? And it's sad. Like I say, we are looking at them, we are recording everything, and we are going to be exposing them when the time comes, you know what I mean? You know, Freedom Dad is who his Freedom Dad is. Freedom Dad is nothing different than what he says online. Freedom Dad is exactly online as he is offline. You know, everybody knows that. I would be so stupid looking if I was to come on here and pretend to be somebody that I'm not, and then come offline and be somebody different to all my friends and family. I would look mental. They would be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is the thing. Everybody has been thanked publicly in this video. He hasn't had a chance to see people due to curfew. He's trying to work. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, to take that off. I take that person off, please. I don't know who they are, but I think they've been slobbering about me as well. Get them off my platform. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. Freedom Dad is genuinely a good man. I think that's Ulster Pink Ladies. Get them away off my channel. I don't want to see them again. Same bunch of people wished bad will on the Belfast parade, which I can assure Dean, same bunch of people wish bad will be on the Belfast Parade, which I can assure it isn't forgot. Yes, I know this is this Bangor Concerned Parents group and this other clown, Fat Boy. You know, this is how bad it's got. You know what I mean? This is how mental it's got. You know, it's like, why would you pick on Freedom Dad? Why would you hate on Freedom Dad? What's your problem? If you've got a problem, come and speak to me. You haven't got the balls to come and speak to me. This is the thing, you know what I mean? They're away. Thank you, Caitlin. I don't know who this Ulster Pink Ladies are. I know they've slobbered about me before and trying to justify he hasn't had time. Of course he's had time. He lives in East Belfast. He lives around the corner from Philip. He lives around the corner from Pinky. He's had all the time. You know what I mean? And they'll let him know. They'll let him know himself. They don't need to hear from me. They'll let him know, you know? CJ Audits in the house. It's not Robin. It's not Robin. Ulster Pink Ladies. Robin's Robin. If Robin's coming on, I would never block Robin or want Robin, you know what I mean? You're a top man, Freedom Dad. Hope you are working out across the water, bro. Yep, thank you, Talgar, and our good friend from well, Scotland, Ireland. Yeah, you move about. You move about. No lives on TikTok yet. I'm watching. Cheers, Ursula Chick. But yeah, I am fucking frustrated. I am angry that we're at this stage with Stevie, and I'm really disappointed in him, you know, because I've tried so hard. I have tried so hard. But it is what it is, guys. You know, it's black and white as far as I'm concerned. And he's got me at a bad time. You know, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff right now, so I am. I'm not, well, let that go on. Yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff right now, a lot of personal stuff, you know, nothing that's major, you know what I mean? But all the little things in my life that I'm worrying about, some friends I'm worrying about. I've got my daughter, you know, I've got my baby's mama, and then I've got, you know, I've got two lives. I've got my Scottish life and I've got my Northern Irish life, and I'm trying to find a happy medium. And also, it's a very difficult time for Freedom Dad because obviously, you know, I lost my wife to COVID, and, you know, I was married for 17 years. So this is a time in my life, you know, when, you know, Christmas was never a great time for me as growing up because I'd lost my mum when I was 8 and I was in care. So I've never experienced Christmas. And my mate sitting next to me, he's the exact same. He's the same as me. He knows the score about Christmas. It's not something that we've ever had. You know, we're not the type of guys who've been gifts under the Christmas tree and all that, and none of that. That's not the way we've been brought up. You know, we've been brought up hard knocks in life, and then getting married and having Sammy and enjoying Christmas for the first time ever, and then having it taken away from me again. So it is a very difficult time because I get down, and people around me who care about me and love me, who want me to enjoy Christmas, can't understand why I don't enjoy Christmas, and I don't want to be that guy who's down at Christmas. I don't want to be around a family who's looking forward to Christmas, who spend months getting ready for Christmas, spending every penny they've got on shitloads of presents, and there's me being down, and I don't want to be that guy. So this is a very difficult time for quite a lot of men. Men seem to suffer quite the most, you know what I mean? So he's got me at a bad time, you know, running about telling people I got him arrested, doing videos that everybody around him's being arrested. Not everybody around you is being arrested. I don't know anybody around you apart from a guy, Dean. That's the only person that you have around you that's been arrested. There's not another man around you that's been arrested, you know? And that's fact. You know, Pinky and everybody else and everybody else around you is a Freedom Dad team. is the East Belfast First Division. You're not part of the Freedom Dad team. You're not part of the East Belfast First Division. You're Stevie Baker. Whoever's with you, whatever guys are running with you, they're with you. They're not with us. They're not in my company. I don't have their phone numbers. I don't talk to them. I don't message them. You know, none of us do. Whoever's with you are with you, and they're on their own, and they'll be like that. You know, they've picked their side, and they can stay there. You know, and that's it. You know, it's not about hating. I don't like doing this. I am pissed off. You know what I mean? I'm pissed off that he's done this while I'm not there. When he knows I'm over here trying to see my daughter, he knows what I'm dealing with. He knows the type of man I am. And, you know, I'm pissed off about everything else that he created in the last wee while, the carry on with the Boyne Bridge and the flag protest and the way he behaved in that. And very high ranking loyalists were very, very angry. And I felt that he brought us into that, you know, and bringing the tricolour out at that time as well and waving the tricolour when we've got hardline loyalists who are defending the Boyne Bridge and the flag culture and everything. It caused us problems, us patriots, you know, not just me, but other people around us. Bad timing, and it's just, he just doesn't care. He doesn't think about nobody else but himself, and that's the problem. You've got to think about everything in Northern Ireland. You've got to think about Protestants. You've got to think about Catholics. You've got to think about loyalism. You can't just go there on your own and think everybody's going to support you, because you won't. You know, you've got to think about the movement. You've got to think about people that's coming behind you. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. That's the problem I've had. I've had complaint after complaint after complaint. Everybody's coming to me. And like I've got some control over Stevie Baker. I'm Freedom Dad. I've got nothing to do with anybody else but Freedom Dad. The people around me, you know who the people around me. You see them around me. You see Caitlin, Freddie, the other guys that do my camera. You see the guys that do my security, Waza. And I'm not going to start throwing names out because I'll end up forgetting names. But you see who's around me, who works in the Freedom Dad team. And then you see who Freedom Dad works with, other guys from Newton Abbey, Ballymena, Shankill, South Belfast. You know what I mean? You see who's around me and who we work together. You know what I mean? And yeah, it is what it is. We're putting a line in the sand before it comes into the new year. And if Stevie wants to making a video and apologise and say that he's sorry for accusing Freedom Dad of getting him in the jail, and sorry for saying that he would like to see Freedom Dad get arrested, because that's what he's saying. That's what they're saying. He's saying the exact same thing as the haters are saying, as the dissidents. All the things that they're saying, that's what they're saying, That's what he's doing. He wants to see me get arrested. Why? What have I done to get arrested? What anybody tell me what has Freedom Dad done to warrant an arrest? To warrant anything to do with even getting close to being arrested? I do nothing but tell the truth. I keep myself right. I don't organise demos. I report in demos. I don't jump about doing lives encouraging people to come out and put people out of their homes. There's things that Stevie Baker has done that I would get arrested for, and I've kept silent about it. Everybody knows that. We've seen the videos, and yeah, I raise an eyebrow about that, you know what I mean? And if he's going into the police station and then coming out and behaving the way he's behaving, then I'm going to raise an eyebrow. I'm going to raise an eyebrow, because I can tell you now, I've seen a man that was broken of the fear of being arrested. So that tells me I'd like to see the statements that were made. I would like to see the no comments on the statements, because that's what my statements always say. No comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. Show me your statements. Ask your lawyer to get your statements, because we can all get them, and let me see your statements. Let's show the world what you said when you were in the police station, because I doubt very much it was a no comment interview, and that's just the truth, you know what I mean? And if you're going to call me a grass, then right back at you. I can bring any statement out. I've still got statements from 18 years. No comment, no comment, no comment. When we were loyalist prisoners in the jails in the Crumlin Road, we had to show our statements to the commanders. No comment, no comment, no comment. All my life, I've never spoke a word to the police. Not a single word have I spoke apart from no comment, And that's who I am, and I'm proud to be who I am, And that's why I do what I do, because I'm proud of who I am. There's nobody can call me out. There's not a man out there can say a bad word about me. There's not a man out there can say this Freedom Dad or Mark has done him a wrong turn. There's not a woman out there that can say that Mark has done them a wrong turn, And that's why I do what I do, It's as simple as that. Like, I'm not going to go on and on, guys. I am like a wee bit thingy about it, and I don't want to go on and on. Like I say, it's what I've said. I've said it's done. It's done. I expect a video from Stevie in the next 24 hours of some sort. You know, I would like to think that he's gonna put his hands up and said, yes, it's been overwhelming. It's maybe been too much for him. He's not maybe not a criminal. You know, if you want to call it a criminal lifestyle, whatever, being arrested and all the rest of it. Maybe he's not used to it. I don't know, but I'm expecting some sort of explanation. Is that why me and Kendo had to deal with cops now? Every time he walks past you at demos, it's almost like Freedom Dad is stealing my followers. Yeah, a lot of people said to me since I've came back from Scotland that, you know, that's, you know, I have awakened Northern Ireland. I am the biggest YouTuber and TikToker. And I've came off TikTok because it's just full of children and haters. But yeah, me and CJ are the two biggest YouTubers in Northern Ireland. There's no two ways about it. And you know, maybe he's got a problem with that, but that's not my problem. You know, I'm not here to make money. I don't monetize my channels. I'm just here to do the best for my country in the best way I know how. So throw some comments up, guys. Any questions, I'll answer them. And then I'm going to wrap it up because I'm with my friends and I don't want to be rude. So I did say I would come on and do a live and explain my videos. So anybody wants to throw any comments up, throw them up. Try not to upset yourself, Freedom Dad. Everyone who knows you can see what a decent one you are. Thank you, Audrey. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed. So I am. I'm really, really disappointed that I have to be going down this road because I know the left will love it. I know Nolan's watching. I know the Sunday World. I know Belfast Telegraph is watching and stuff like that. Shout out at Dean from me. He wouldn't let me play some rave tunes. Right, Lindsay. Right, where you go, Lindsay? Go. You're not taking this serious enough, Lindsay. No probs, Arshare. Hi, welcome to Glasgow. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Do you do your homework on the mouthpieces and fill them? Yeah, we are. Thank you, James. Good to see you, brother. When you come home, more to the point. I'll be home soon, Dean. I'll be home soon. Londonderry Sunday night, hopefully at 8 p.m. Okay, CJ. Patriotic Media, good on the live. Good on the live tonight. Well done, mate. Well done. Hope we tulips. Patriotic Media. I want to make a point. I want to make this announcement as well. You all know Tulip. You know my wee Tulip. And because life has been a bit hectic right now, and Sarah and Caitlin, I've got my godson. Freedom Dad, many believe you're destined to be a voice for the country. This sort of stuff it's gonna happen. Let it run off you and stay focused on the bigger picture. This is the price of leadership. I'm not a leader, guys. I'm definitely not a leader. I'm not here to lead anybody. Freedom Dad is one of the most straight and upstanding Ulster men we have. Thank you, Londonderry. Tulip, gorgeous wee dog. So I want to say, you know, I've got Bonnie, who's Sarah's dog and Caitlin's dog and that, and you know, it is a bit much, Tulip and boy, and with me moving about quite a lot. And I want to say, I want you to give Patriotic Media a bit of love because she's taken Tulip on for me. Her daughter has fallen in love with Tulip, and Tulip is going to get the love that she truly deserves. It has broke my heart. It really has broke my heart to make this decision, but I'm a dog lover. I love my dogs, and I think it's best for Tulip. I think Tulip is going to be really happy, and we are going to see Tulip at the demos. She's going to be brought to demos. She's going to be a big part of the Patriot movement. She's maybe going to be a mascot for the Patriots of Northern Ireland. So I hope to see Tulip play a big part in our movement. So big up to Nikki. Thank you so much for taking that bit of weight and pressure off me. And thank you. I'll never ever be able to thank you enough for what you've done. So yeah, guys. Yeah, it is what it is. I've said what I've said, and also want you to give a bit of respect to Pinky and Philip, the twins of the Pinkertons, that have worked so hard for not just for Stevie and not just for me, but for quite a lot of Patriots. Who, like Philip, who is our legal guy, and Jim as well, who helps out in the background, that does all the legal stuff, does all the lawyer stuff. And like I say, the Power Multis, they have the Loyalist Prisoners Association, whereas if you're in the Power Multis and you get the jail, then you're looked after and everything. I just want to say that we have the same thing in the Patriot movement, and Stevie experienced that, you know, and it is the start of our movement. And I don't think Stevie appreciated exactly what was done on the outside because he doesn't understand the whole thing the legal system and all that, you know. But I just want everybody to know that if you're involved in our movement and you go to prison, you will be supported 110%. Your family will be looked after. There will be money given. Anything you need, you will get. You will not go without. You will get instantly a legal team ready. You will instantly have a bail application put in, like Stevie did. And, you know, we don't expect thanks, but we don't expect abuse. That's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like I say, it is what it is, guys. Big up Philip and Neil. Hope you know we all appreciate everything you do. EBFD, keeping all kids safe in East Belfast. Who's thanks to them all. Yeah, you know, I can't say Pinky's on bail conditions right now. They're doing everything to stop him going online. As you know, Philip was arrested as well. For absolutely nothing. Philip is a family man. All he does is illegal stuff. He doesn't go to demos. He doesn't go to protests. And he was arrested for something when him and his brother Warren were arrested, and they weren't even out of the house. They were in the house with their families, meant to be. I can't remember what it was. Something to do in East Belfast. Somebody getting put out of a house. A ring doorbell or something, and the ring doorbell proves it wasn't them. Remember, these guys are still on bail. These guys have still got pressure on them for nothing, for being patriots. And this is what's happening to us in Northern Ireland, you know. Like I say, Freedom Dad has been doing this, has been involved with the police and the law for a very long time, since I've been a very young boy, and I know the law. I know how to stay on the right side of the line, you know what I mean? So it's not about anything else. I know people want to see Freedom Dad get arrested. They don't understand why Freedom Dad can talk about Pakistani grooming gangs and about the rape of our children and what's coming and how we're being replaced. But Freedom Dad's only telling you the truth. The reason why they can't arrest Freedom Dad is because Freedom Dad's telling you the truth. It's as simple as that, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. That's good old PSNI for you. Yep. So why them two fellas were arrested, people have done worse. Yep, Lady J. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm not going to do a Waltons tonight. Like I say, I'm with my friends. And yeah, thank you for support. Thank you for the buy me a coffees. And Stevie, it's the ball's in your park now, mate. You know what I mean? I'm not wanting to hate on you. I'm not wanting to go against you. But, you know, you've brought it on yourself, you know. And it is what it is. It's black and white as far as I'm concerned. And as John Rankin says on the EBFD, toodaloo. Going to leave it with that. God bless, guys.